It is my honor to welcome you to the second Ghana National Dialogue on Drug Policy, Human Rights and Health. Your presence reflects our shared commitments to building a drug policy that is effective, evidence-based, and grounded in public health and human rights. Why is the soldier talking about human rights? Because they claim that we are the first abusers. That is not so in recent times, please. Our first national dialogue marked a turning point in Ghana's approach to drug policy. It brought together government, civil society, academia, international partners, and affected communities to rethink our response to drug-related challenges. Since then, Ghana has made important progress. The implementation of the Narcotics Control Commission Act 2020, Act 1019, has established a modern framework that combines strong law enforcement with prevention, treatment, rehabilitation, and social integration. It recognizes substance use disorders as a public health issue, whilst maintaining firm action against drug trafficking and organized crime. Anytime I hear our advocates talking about treating drug-related issues as health one, I'm sure some of those who do the trafficking, oh, Madam Comfort, you are also here. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. When you traffic drug, it cannot be a health issue. So I'm sure we will not even go there. As I turn around, I keep seeing a lot of, Doc, you are welcome. Yet passing legislation is only the beginning. Our priority now is the implementation. That is why this year's dialogue is themed Advancing from Law to Implementation. Over the next 2 days, we will assess the progress made since our first dialogue, examine emerging trends such as synthetic drugs, discuss reducing stigma and discrimination, strengthen collaboration between the justice and health sectors, and identify practical actions to advance Ghana's harm reduction and treatment agenda. Achieving these reforms requires partnership. Government cannot do it alone. And as I always advocate, no country, no matter how sophisticated you are, how advanced you are, can fight the illicit drug challenge alone. Lasting progress depends on collaboration among development partners, civil society, healthcare professionals, academia, community leaders, and people with lived experiences whose perspectives remain essential to effective policy. On behalf of the Narcotics Control Commission, I sincerely thank the government of Ghana for its leadership and continued support. And I want to pass this message through the Deputy Minister. I also express our appreciation to UNDP, UNAIDS, UNODC, and International Drug Policy Consortium, IDPC. I can see Council at the other corner there. And all partners whose technical and financial contributions have made this dialogue possible. We are eternally grateful. I encourage every participant to engage openly, share ideas, and work together to develop practical recommendations that will guide the next phase of Ghana's drug policy reforms. The world drug problem continues to evolve, and rapidly, I say. The emergence of synthetic drugs, changing patterns of substance use, and increasingly sophisticated criminal networks require innovative, coordinated responses and sometimes thinking on your feet to address the situation. Together, we have the opportunity to ensure that Ghana remains at the forefront of implementing a balanced drug policy that protects public safety, promotes public health, and upholds human rights. I wish you a productive deliberation and successful dialogue. Before I take my seat, anytime I meet very senior people, their concern have been, how do you address our little ones in secondary school who do drugs? And I'm sure that is why we need to rethink our strategy so that we balance enforcement with prevention. I am confident, looking at the faces of persons seated here, that at the end of the day, we'll come up with a document that will address this challenge. We cannot do it alone as a Narcotics Control Commission. We need your support, we need your guidance, we need everything that you can offer to us to address the challenge, because like I always say, if we don't, a day will come, a time will come where we cannot find people like you seated here to discuss issues about national development. Any opportunity you get, whether you are a media man, whether you are a teacher, whether you belong to the civil society, talk to somebody about drugs. Take it as a personal project and talk about drugs. Because the rate at which it's working on our kids in secondary schools is very serious. I heard yesterday that a 5-year-old was introduced to drugs. I mean, how can this be? How can we sit here and allow this to happen? I'm very passionate about it because that is where the future of this country depends. We cannot allow it to flourish. Let us take it as personal projects. I am sure that if each of us sitting here, we take 10 people in our communities and talk to them, educate them about drugs, it will go a long way to reduce it. Thank you very much for coming. Let's have a fruitful discussion. Thank you.